Welcome back to another episode of the Lofty Lender's Homebuyer Education, where we explore tips, tricks, and stories that help you plan for your next home purchase. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a move-up buyer, an investor, or just looking to learn, we hope you gain a little bit of knowledge today. And today is story time. We are going a little off script. I don't know that we really have a script, but we're going a little off script today in that we want to share some stories about how the people we work with, whether it be customers, it be realtors, it be insurance people, whoever we're working with, they're not necessarily just business colleagues. They become part of our friends and family. So Charlie and I were kind of discussing this ahead of time. And I said, we've just had a lot of people here recently that have reached out about stuff that has nothing to do with their mortgage. And I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is, but people, for whatever reason, they want to reach out and I love it. I'm here for it. So, Charlie, I guess I'll start with you. What's the first story that comes to mind when I say that your customers they kind of feel like more than customers?
I know, and honestly, that's the best part, Kyle. We don't do this because we like to deal with government paperwork, so
It's true.
it's
Absolutely.
true. But yeah, no, you and I were comparing notes of what to talk about, and we just got to go to a wedding last weekend, and did not know these people from Adam 2 years ago, and met them through an agent, and got to just connect really, really well. They actually had a lot going on in life. They had kids getting ready to get married and going to college and then trying to downsize and a business that was just tricky to manage. We didn't just do their mortgage. We did a lot with their budget and their credit and had a plan for all those expenses and switched to a self-employed where they'd been fully W-2'd employees. There's just a lot. And that is so fun because we're good at coordinating all that stuff, not just doing your mortgage. So building that relationship and then getting to go to a wedding, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you mentioned realtors. I actually had a realtor reach out to me a few weeks ago, and it was to me, it's a little weird. I don't know. People that know me know that I'm not a huge dog person. I know I'm a bad person. I don't love
You like the little
dogs.
dogs, the little ones.
If even then, I'm trying to think of like yeah, no, I'm not even gonna go into my thought pattern because I think that'll lead down a path of people not
He
liking me more.
he's a cat
I
person.
like kids. I like people. I'm not an animal person. So you'll never find me as a veterinarian. I grew up with pigs and they were means of food and making money because I got to show them in the for 4-H and the fair. Like just anyway. So I'm beyond the topic. The realtor reaches out to me and she goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know I went ahead and added your name down as a reference because we are looking to get some new dogs through a breeder." And we needed to list down a couple of references. So I listed your name. I, I, well, we talk almost every day. So I can understand why I was listed as a reference. I know their character. I know they're great people. If I ever got that phone call about how do they handle dogs,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of turned my head the other way. I don't know. It's probably not a good thing, but it spoke huge volumes to me of this person wants to use me as a reference. And we work together all the time, but we don't hang out after work. We don't do a lot of stuff that's just one-on-one or one-on-two. It's a
Yeah.
realtor team. So it's really cool.
Well, and I don't know how many Christmas cards you get. We always say we're going to send the Christmas card. As a family, we're terrible. Don't get that far, but we get so many Christmas cards from some business partners, which those are great. But when you get them from customers and past customers, that it's just so much fun. And people look at their list. It's not a cheap item nor an easy item to send. And so it really means a lot when, we try to affect more than just help you get a loan done. And you get that connection to where you're really helping people grow their family, grow their confidence, grow their wealth, whatever the pieces can be. It is so much fun. And I don't know, there's little pieces because you don't always see it. And so we got to really take a grain of salt appreciation when you get it. Add to a reference. Yeah, definitely not normal. And it is really nice. And it's just it warms my heart knowing that we're making those changes and those just little pieces that help make people's lives better, faster, less stressful, whatever it is.
So you said Christmas cards. So of course, another story pops into my head. And actually it just happened this year. I've got an older woman. She sold her house, and then she used the money from the sale of the house to go ahead and pay off the existing house. And she waited a couple of months for me, which was very much appreciated. She's just a wonderful woman. She'll call me up every once in a while and just update me on her life. She's a very pleasant woman, and it's great to talk to her and everything. So I got a Christmas card from her. Oh, I was gonna say middle of December, right when Christmas cards are starting to come out. And I thought, oh, that's really cute. And it didn't really say much, just said, hope you and your family have a happy holidays, things like that. And then I was gone for a couple of weeks with staying home with my kid during the holidays and things like that. I came back in, I think on Friday last week, right before or right after New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, excuse me. And I had another card, and I'm like, well, okay, I haven't been here a couple of weeks. I got another Christmas card. Great. Awesome. Open it up. It's from the same woman. And this one has a whole paragraph written about how this new house has been helpful for her, her family, for everybody. And, my aunt sent me a couple birthday cards once on accident because she, kind of forgot that she sent me one in the first place. It could have been that, but it was just she really thought about me. And that was
Yeah.
really cool. It warms my heart every time I get to open something like that.
Yeah. And we don't expect that. I mean,
No.
I, in the back of my mind, I expect, a verbal thank you or a text thank you when stuff is outside the normal, loan process where it's just helping out with something. Those go a long ways. But yeah, I've gotten random thank you cards, and it's one thing when it's right after the fact. And I've only had probably 3 or 4 in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, but they were a few months after. And it's like, holy cow, you really made an impression on that person or that family to send something that far after the fact. And especially when there's, you take time to write. This I love getting cards, and I do love sending them, but like, I won't write much. And then you sign it. If someone takes the time to write something out, it just means a lot. It's kind of crazy.
So in our business, we really can't take things of value from
Yeah.
customers for a thank you. It's not acceptable according to what CFPB has brought down on us. But it makes me think of something way back in the day. I used to work for a big box company, and I had a customer who was in New York, and he was just he seemed like he was the rudest person alive. He would cuss and swear and do everything possible to get me off the phone. And I thought, okay, I never want to call this guy again. I would have nightmares at night thinking about going to work, having to call him to
Oof.
tell him an update on his loan. And I was so scared. And by the end of it, we closed. In the state of New York, they have a weird thing where even if you refinance, you have to pay transfer taxes, and those can get up to $10,000 to $20,000 just to refinance your loan. It's insane.
It's
Um,
nuts.
but this guy ended up sending me Yankees tickets, and he works as a merchandise salesperson for the Yankees games. And I got it, and of course I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Right? And I got all excited, so everybody comes rushing around my desk and saying, "Hey, what do you have? What do you have?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't keep those." I'm like, I know I can't keep them. That's the worst part. So I had to send them back, and that was I'm not a Yankees fan, but it was just a really awesome thing
It's pretty
that,
cool.
especially working at a big box company like that, a lot of people don't feel like they're super valued, right? You feel like, hey, it's the best place to go because they're easy and I can call them up and they're right here on my phone already. But uh that was super, super awesome. And I wish I still remember that guy's name. I could look him up and maybe go out to New York sometime and try to find him. I wouldn't have a clue
Yeah.
nowadays to know who that was, but that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah. No, the little things, and once in a while, we don't get as many pop buys anymore. Um, but once in a while, and I just had an older couple that we did a refinance for, not a big loan. They didn't really owe much, doing a project, so just needing some money for that. And it was a lot more on the quantity of phone calls and texts than normal. And they acknowledged, like, hey, sorry being, a little bit more needy maybe, but no one had ever answered these questions. And these are people who've owned a home for years. And it's like, I'm surprised you have these questions, but at the same time, stuff changes. You just don't do it, and then you forget. So having that resource, but it's also fun because then they're like, oh yeah, really appreciate it. And, pass it to my neighbor or my kids. And that's really what, on the business side of things is really helpful to us. And we really are striving for it, working outside of hours and going above and beyond. We want to help, and it is fun when we get those referrals and they come across with such glowing comments. sometimes it's hard to take. You always got to say thank you and take a compliment. That's harder than you think
Oh yeah.
sometimes. But it really does. It just feels good because you're, as much as it's hard to take compliments, that's what it is. And on the inside, you just have to be able to verbally say thank you. But it really makes you feel good for the late hours you work or doing stuff during what you could have as family time, but getting people in the right spot and knowing that they appreciate it. It's a lot. It's fantastic.
Well, you briefly touched on this, but kids and siblings of the
Mhm.
person we've helped or we potentially were going to help. I could think of a few that you know you're a lot older than me, obviously, so you're helping a
I'm
lot more people that are older. Seems I don't know why, but for whatever reason, oftentimes we end up working with people that are roughly close to age with us. Obviously, first time
Yep.
buyers are going to always be there, but it seems like that's kind of a generational thing. And I've definitely noticed to where now some of the borrowers are starting to say, "Hey, by the way, my son is going to be calling you. My daughter's going to be calling you." Oh, I didn't know you had kids old enough to do that. Okay, that's really awesome. Or one
Yeah.
thing I forget about is just siblings and brother,
Yeah.
sister, family members, whatever. I, I'm not expecting anything in return. Of course, I would love to help out your family. I
Right.
love that you trust me enough to give my name out to your siblings, to your husband or whoever. But it's really awesome. It's a tremendous feeling. I had a guy add me on Facebook the other day, and I was like, "Well, I've helped his daughter and I've helped his son. I don't know him, but I mean, I kind of want to accept him because maybe he has questions, or maybe he's just super happy
Yeah.
because both of his kids have been helped over the last 2 years, and it's just a really cool feeling to have."
100%. And honestly, with all the nitpick that we have to go through, because there's so much that's just government mandated, regulatory, background checking, that part's exhausting. So to know we get to actually have the fun connections and the really beneficial portion, I mean, we're not here to live life alone. We're designed to live life together and be in the community and help each other grow and prosper. And it's hard to do that these days. Everybody's a lot more inward focused because you can look up all the answers. Not that you get the right ones, wrong question, wrong answers, whatever. But that connection goes so much farther to help build success and build confidence. You don't necessarily build confidence by yourself easily, but together when you've got somebody they've got your back and in an emergency, like my insurance agent, just getting the kids added on for driving. Dear heavens, call and say, all right, help. What do I need to do? I know the answer, but now I got emotions involved because now my kids are there and I'm questioning my knowledge. That's why we have the agent there. We're dangerous in a lot of areas to help, but having that person there, and I know they've got my back. I've known them for years. They're not going to give me a BS answer. They're going to give me the answer that they would do for themselves and their family.
Yeah, and I even think about just the fact that we've talked about this in a little bit in the past, but we're mortgage lenders. We're definitely not licensed therapists. Absolutely not. But at the same time, we are sounding boards for people
Yeah.
when they have concerns and they have questions and they're just unsure of where to go. And I think we pride ourselves on having those contacts at least to get you started. It might not be the
Mhm.
right person for you. It might not be the one you want to work with, and that's fine. But at least to okay, you need to be going and talking to a mechanic or a plumber or whatever. Getting you down that path because a lot of people are just clueless. They have no idea. Hey,
Yeah.
something broken. I don't know what to do. I think I have to pay all this money. Oh, actually, you've got a home warranty that you set up when you bought the house a year ago. Let's make sure we take a look at that first before we do anything.
Yeah.
There's little things like that where again, we're not therapists, but we're definitely listening to problems and we're trying to find a way to help you. And I think through that we grow together, right? And
Yep.
there's definitely people that um I'm learning about their personal lives, things that I mean, I call quarterly to follow up and say hi. If you don't like that, that's okay. You don't have to answer. I got a lot of people who don't. That's fine. But I like talking to people and I like talking to people that I've worked with already because I really enjoy the people that I've worked with. We've got a good connection going. So
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite things about this job and about doing this is, as I mentioned to you earlier, Charlie, before we started this recording, a lot of these people have gone from somebody I didn't know to,
Oh
there's
yeah.
oftentimes I end alone and I'm like, Charlie, I'm really sorry, but you're not going to be able to, we can't talk every day anymore. Like there's just no point. I have nothing else I need from you. You don't need anything from me. We're done. And I'm kind of sad about that. There's a lot of really awesome people that I want to
Yeah.
continue talking to all the time. So those quarterly phone calls, I'm reaching out because I enjoy talking to you. I have fun.
Yep. I agree. And I tease people after we get done. Like, I know you're going to miss me. And you're joking, but at the same time, there's a little bit there. You get to go through that exciting part of life. Sometimes it's the exciting in a rough way, but still it's highs and lows, and you build connections a lot in those instances. So I'm right there with you. The extra phone calls and hearing the stories and then just enjoying people. It's nice to have good people around you.
So if you guys take anything from this conversation today, I know we're just being silly and having fun, and we're talking about some stories, but ultimately, as you can tell, we care. And I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding that when you work with us, we're going to treat you like your family. We're going to take care of you, and we're going to make sure that, you know, you feel confident and comfortable after your loan is closed, that you're still in a good position. We could go into more stories about that just popped into my head, but I won't go there. But buying a home is always one of your biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. And you deserve to have people that are going to, you know, trust you and, you know, be trustable. I guess if that's an easy way to say that, I don't know. Anyways,
We do
we hope
numbers,
you,
not words.
yeah. My Sudokus. Let's go back to those.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed the conversation, found it valuable today. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our podcast for more exciting episodes. Go check out our teamchedester.com website. We just made some updates to that. Super slick looking. I would love to have some people check that out.